Welcome to the Excel Purpose Show with Counselor. Today we have Sandy Powell, mindfulness expert. Sandy, welcome.
Thank you.
So excited to have you here, especially during this time. There's a lot going on in the world, right? Whether that's wars that are happening in some places in the world, or whether that is like on TV all the time right now we're seeing, which is like the LA fire. Things are happening around us that is totally out of our control. If people are in these situations, how should they deal with this when it comes to mindfulness?
Yes, I'm so sorry for anybody that's in the situation, because yes, I mean, losing a home and having all these things to deal with is I'm sure is a lot to deal with. But like we do with any crazy situation, I feel like trying to stay calm as possible, try and focus on the positives, focus on what's important, right? Like saving your family, getting them to a safe place, and doing just the next best step. Like don't go too far. Whenever I have something that I get anxious about, I try to break it down in manageable parts, right? So that's what I would advise in this situation too. You don't know what's going on. You don't know, have you lost your home? You don't know what's going on. What's the next step? So you're just kind of, focus on just the next thing. Okay, are we all hungry? Let's see where we can get some food. Where are we going to stay tonight? Where are we going to be safe? What can we do next, right? And just try and stay as calm as you can, and and see what, maybe take some deep breaths and wow.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Like I've seen some people make posts around just actually sharing that, like what you're saying. It's like you don't even know, because you may have evacuated, but then unsure whether your home is going to be there or not if you're going back. But either way, you can't get near that area. So when you're talking about, oh yeah, like if it's just like, hey, we're hungry, we need food. I saw some people actually, start talking on social media just how they're feeling. And I saw so many loving messages actually flooding in that comment section. It's like, so sorry this is happening to you. If you need a home buddy, like, you can always crash at mine. Or it's like, hey, if you need anything, I'm seeing a lot of the nice humanity side that comes out when it comes to real friends, like that people are connecting back with. I think that's really lovely to see. And then on the other end, I see those ones that's like the celebrities home that are like being burnt down, and people kind of like, there's a group of people that's just like, well, who cares about them? It's just easy for them to like restart their life. What's your thoughts?
I mean, a loss is a loss, right? I mean, it's gonna hit people regardless whether they have the money to replace us or not. Like it's still tragic. But yeah, when you said like the other spectrum, I thought you're gonna talk about the looting, because I was like, oh my, I heard about people actually going into the abandoned homes and like trying to steal stuff.
That's never haven't even occurred to me yet. I haven't seen that. I think my mind probably hasn't even gone to that bad side. Naturally focus on probably, but no, you're right. The other side of the extreme would be that. What happens there? So we're saying, yeah, there'll be some people that's taking advantage of the situation. That's right. But that's totally out of our control. Like we can't do anything about that. It's just, what do we do? Is there anything we can do about that? Probably nothing much, right?
Yeah, no, I think talking about it is really good, right? Like seeing some, help from the outside, sharing what's going on the inside, and really just, focus on the next best step, taking the support, right, that is coming towards you. I think that's really helpful, because when you're in a crisis, right, and you really don't know much, sometimes it's hard to take support from others, right? We're more we like to help others, but we sometimes don't like to take the help. But
So
obviously,
how do we accept help?
well, I guess in those kind of situations, there's just no way around it, right? You have your family sitting there on the sidewalk. You don't know where you're gonna eat next. You don't know where you're gonna sleep. You didn't realize you're gonna walk out of the house, and whatever you put on or whatever things you put in your pockets is what you left with, right?
Yeah.
So yes, I think you gotta, get very practical about, okay, what moves do we even have? Where can we get, the basic support, the basic things? Do we have friends around that we can, connect with? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, and it's probably actually just a really nice time to be grateful that, hey, that's what friends are for, and knowing that we would do the same for them if the situation was reversed, right?
Yes, yes. Really falling back on that support system. That's right.
Okay. Let's talk about just in general, everyday people's life. I guess even without, something dramatic like that, throughout our life, people are, I would say, stress in general, just handling work situation and their everyday life. How should they be more mindful? And maybe we can even begin with what mindfulness is.
Sure. Yeah, so mindfulness means that you will stay present in the moment, right? We're not going too far in the past. We're not going too far in the future. We're trying to stay right here in this current moment. So whatever we're doing, we're on this podcast talking. So I'm not trying to think about my shopping list, or I'm not thinking about a conversation from earlier. I'm trying to stay right here. And yeah, another thing I like to do is I plan ahead for things, right? So mindfulness is staying in the present, but you also want, like, it's okay to plan for your future, right? To look at your week. That's something that helps me stay calm, because when I know what is ahead of my week and I know where do I need to, maybe ask for some support or, things like that, then I know I can manage my stress much more easily. Like, I know this is going to be like a tough day. Like, there's a lot of things going on. I can plan for that and maybe, move some things around. Like I said, ask for support. Another thing I like to do is when things get too stressful or overwhelming, I like to, take a moment and write out things that are in my head, right? Like, sometimes I get so overwhelmed and I'm like, there's like so much going on. I'm thinking about this and that and that and that. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't even know what to do first. So
Yeah.
when I find myself in that state, I usually just take a paper and just kind of write out everything that's in my head, to just kind of give it a blank slate. And that has been really helpful. I actually do that in the mornings. I actually get up early in the mornings at like 4 a.m. and take like that first, 2 hours or something. So for me, so I can look at my day, I can do some yoga, I can clear my mind. I write, out all the things, drink my tea, and just kind of enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet
Because when you're
before.
writing it out, we're talking about that's really emptying our mind, right? Because otherwise it's all cluttered in here. But when we're
Exactly.
forced to write it in sentences, we have to articulate what those thoughts are to even write it down. And that helps give the clarity, right? Because we see what's actually written. And it's like, oh, okay, there's these things I'm thinking about. And
Exactly. So it clears the mental clutter. It basically erases it reduces the noise, all the mental noise that you have in your head. And then, yes, you can focus on the task at hand. You can, yes.
let's talk about being present for a moment.
Yes.
Quite often when I go to dinner, I don't have my phone with me when I'm with people. Like, I'm in the moment having the dinner. Like, similar to what you're saying, like in this podcast, we're chatting and that's the only thing I'm doing, right?
Cool.
I find that when people are having dinner, a lot of people like have their phone out and they're like actually not talking to the person. And it's so weird. Like, you can go to this, like, any restaurants, right? And you'll see this happening. Why do you think people are being not so present these days? And what are some tips we can give them to actually stay in present? Because we're talking about, okay, when we are planning and stuff, okay, there's moments that's not so much in present. We're like, okay, thinking about the future, we're planning for it, so we can bring back what we should do in the present. But just in general, how do people stay more in present? Why are they not?
Ah, well, it's our right, our fast-paced society, right? We're so used to our phones, right? We can do anything with our phones these days. We can pay and we can check messages and the time and the weather, and it's become like, yeah, like our watch, you know, like it's become such an item that is we're not really even thinking of anymore, right? Like people are so used to it, like it's not even a disturbance unless you are the other person and you're like you choosing to be present, and then you're mindful of it, and then you recognize that there's the other person, but most people are not. And so most people are just kind of, you know, they're sitting in front of each other, like and they're not talking, but they're both, you know, on their phone and they're doing things. Yeah. And
So
I
we've
think,
lost our mindfulness in some way. Like we
yes,
need to take back control of our mindful. We're like, actually, we're not mindful of the activities that we are even doing because we somehow let go of that power, whether it is to Facebook or Instagram or whoever, like other people that is taking away our attention because they're all competing for attention in one way or another, right? Um, and we're not even aware of that's happening because we have all this tech gadget that is buzzing and making sound.
yes, yes. So that would be my next point. Yeah. So we are so used to it, and it's been so helpful, right? Like having everything connected to you, it's very helpful and useful, but that means you have to set very clear boundaries of where it ends. Like you have to be in control. Yes. And you have to decide, okay, hey, I am having, you know, dinner with my family, I am having dinner with my friend, and I consciously put the phone down, or like I consciously put it on airplane mode after my work is done and things like that. Like you have to be very selective of where, you know, and set those boundaries. Where am I going to take that phone to? And, you know, maybe an hour or two before bedtime, like put it already away. And before, when you wake up, don't have it first thing. I see so many people having it first thing and they're like, you know, losing time right there. That's like, you know, that's something I don't believe.
Guilty. I do that too. It's
Like
bad.
I leave it away, like my me time. I try to really stay focused, especially, you know, my brain dump and my organization and things. And then an hour later or something,
Do
when I get
you?
my day
Do you do
started,
that?
then yes, then I start with my phone.
Yeah. When I want to stay really present, I actually put my phone outside of the room so that in the morning I can't like just grab it. It's become such an automatic thing when it's like just close to us.
Yes.
And it's so easy to just lose a chunk of time, just like flicking through reels, social media stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you do with yours? Do you take yours outside of the bedroom or you just turned it on airplane mode or what have you done?
Airplane mode. Yes. And it's just there. I mean, I have it as for my time, but I usually just leave it and I just go, I go
You,
to the bathroom and then I just
you
leave it
do your
there
own
and
thing first for
I do
like
my,
an hour.
yes. And I do my drink and my yoga and my journal and strategize my plan, my day. And once I'm ready, then I'll have my phone. I
That's
try
good
to
tip.
avoid
That's what a mindfulness person do. It's like the first hour you have it for yourself before you attend to the rest of the world.
Yeah, you should give it a try, because honestly, whenever I have my phone first thing because something happens or whatever, then I realize my whole day starts differently. Like it's all, oh my God, and look at all these messages and look at this, and I don't even know what's my day look like and stuff. And I get flustered too, right? And so I really tested it out multiple ways, and I just found that this is the way I want to start my day with. This is how I want to, you know, I want to focus myself. I want to have that me time, because if my day already starts all flustered and all distracted, then this is what the rest of my day goes like too.
Yeah, such an important reminder, that one. It's like the only thoughts that's like looping in my head now is like, yeah, be a master of technology, not a slave.
But it really is tricky. I mean, how many times have I just wanted to check the weather and then there was a message and there was another thing. And before I, before I think I'm like, oh my God, why did I even pick it up? Oh, I wanted to look at the weather and I haven't even done that,
Yes.
So yes, it is very tricky, but practice makes perfect. So
Yeah.
I'll give it another go.
Yes, I would do that. And I think, for everyone else, it is actually practice. So it's like if we have the intention to do it for like when we go, okay, we'll try this out for a week, and we did it the first day, but we failed on day 2 and 3. The thing is like everything else, right? It's kind of like going to a gym. It's like, don't give up on it. It's like you did it for a day. That's good, right? Mindfulness, it's I would imagine like practicing anything else. It's you got to celebrate your small wins and not kick yourself if you didn't do everything that you wanted straight up.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I mean, when I started out, I was thinking too, I'm not good at meditation. I was constantly sitting there. My monkey mind was going everywhere, or I was doing the breathing exercise and I couldn't understand like how can you breathe in or out longer than you breathe in? Like how do you even do that? I was like, you breathe in, you breathe out. How can you do any difference? It
How
was
do
so
you do that? Can we actually do some breathing
breathe.
technique like right now?
Yes, yes, we can do some box
How
breathing.
how many breathing techniques? Do you just have one, or do you have a few, or what do you have?
We could do a few, but yeah,
Okay.
the one I like to start with is usually box breathing because it's somewhat simple.
Okay, let's do the box breathing. Let's see how
Okay.
I feel about that.
And it's a calming technique that even the Navy SEALs do. So figured, that's a good thing. I can
I've got
share
my
that with
army
you.
pants on right now. I'm ready.
Okay, so it's called box breath because it has like the 4 sides, right? You have like 4 seconds of inhale, 4 seconds of holding, 4 seconds of exhaling, and another 4 seconds of holding.
Okay. Let's
Yes, if you
shall we
want to
do it
try
together?
this
Yeah,
out.
I want to do it. Like, I mean, I think for many of us, it's like we hear about these breathing technique, and we may have even tried it in the past, but I think these are just like such great reminder of what's available. So yeah, I'm in the moment. So let's do this. Can you talk me through it so we can do it together?
Yes.
Okay.
So we would find a nice comfortable space,
Yeah, I'm
close
comfortable.
your eyes, or have a downward gaze.
Mm-hmm.
Take just a few normal deep breaths in and out. And then we'll do our inhale for 4 seconds. I'll guide you through it, yeah?
Okay.
So inhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And then naturally in and out, whatever feels comfortable to you. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the present moment.
How long would you say that took? Like a minute? Or not even?
I didn't check the time. But I think, yeah.
Wouldn't have taken that long because we're doing 4 seconds
Yeah, I was gonna say,
of each. That's like half a minute. And then
you
we
can
did
obviously
around the second
extend
minute.
it.
So it's only, we're talking about like for 2 minutes, we put aside, we could literally just do this box breathing and feel a lot calmer.
Yeah, I was keeping with the 4, so I did it 4 times, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
The thing is, yeah, like in the beginning, it seems hard, right? When we try, just like we said before, when we try something new, it seems so hard. So give yourself a slack and just kind of do, like do the 4, do the 2,
So
like
simple.
right. And yeah, however many things, however
It's
many
very
tries
calming.
you get is better than before, right? Not
Yeah, for
doing it,
sure.
right?
For sure.
So, and the
And I
thing
think
too,
what I like about this is because it's so easy to remember because it's a square. It's just like literally 4 seconds. Oh,
right.
it's not got some funny, like hard, difficult technique. Simplicity is always the best. So what are we what else do we have?
Yeah, I was gonna
What's
say
the next technique?
some people find it stressful though, right? Like when you
Really?
have to concentrate on like, oh my God,
I'll
4
concentrate on
seconds,
box.
this and that, that's not relaxing to me, right? So if that is you and you feel like this is overwhelming, then, and you really just want to take a load off, you need a moment to breathe and relax, I would just say, just breathe in and try and, yeah, longen the exhale. And the other thing too, like try and make the O shape, because whenever that already makes it longer. Like basically you envision almost like a candle, blowing out a candle.
Oh.
And that
Are
makes
we
it
meant to
long.
breathe in through with our nose and breathe out through our mouth, or it doesn't matter?
Whatever feels more comfortable. But yes, I usually go in with the nose and out through the mouth, but you could do it, if you feel like that goes easier. For me, it's more relaxing to go in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the O shape, it automatically it makes it longer.
Okay.
And so we want to calm our nervous system, right? So we have our longest nerve is the vagus nerve. It connects your brain with your heart. And basically your breathing is matching your heartbeat, right? So if you're hyperventilating, your heart is also very fast. And so we want to make sure when we take these deep breaths that we're calming ourselves down. That's what we're also doing with our heart. The more we're, when we're at peace, we're basically aligned. We have our mind, our heart aligned with our breathing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where we want to get to. And yes, if that's too much with the 4s, then just do some deep, inhale, exhale, focus that there's the O, that you can maybe just give it a little bit of a longer stretch, then that just, and again, I used to struggle with that a lot too, but it really comes down to practice. Like, don't give up and just see if you can stretch it out just a little bit more, a teeny tiny second, longer and longer. And the more you practice, it becomes more natural. And the thing with this too is you really have to, take aside, like we said, like it could just be like 2 minutes in the morning and just practice it. Because if you really want to make use of this technique when it's a high stake situation, a high stress situation, then you don't want to start then and be like, oh God, what was it like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which way was it? Da, da, da. Yeah, like you want to have it, practice in private and just kind of see that you can manage it better, so that when, the storm hits, you're like, oh, okay, this is the perfect moment. I can give this a try.
That seems pretty simple to me. I feel like most people would find that pretty simple. Can we do a harder one? Just for fun?
The thing is,
Or a different one?
yes, we can. No, I just wanted to say that if everybody's mindfulness practice or whatever calms you down looks different. It's like a fingerprint,
Yeah,
so you have
it
to
is
find the
different.
right combination for you. So I just wanted to point out, right? Some people like the interruption and like the counting because it gives them something to focus on, and others don't. So we could do an inhale of 7, a hold of 4, and an exhale of 8. How would you feel about that?
7-4-8 technique. Yes, let's do 7-4-8. I want to do 7-4-8 and see comparatively how that makes me feel.
Yeah, do you want to do it a little longer? Do you want me to guide you in a bit more, or?
No, I think if we do it about the same time as we did that other one, like a couple of rounds of it,
Yes.
that'll give me an instant feeling of which one I like more.
Very good. Let's do it. All right, let's close our eyes. We just do some normal breaths in and out. In, out. And now we're going to start with our 7-4-8. Count the length. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And breathe naturally. Mm-hmm. 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 And try and make it a long exhale, blowing out that candle, releasing all the tension. In. And open your eyes and come back.
When I compare the two, I guess from a simplicity perspective, the box method is just so easy to remember because there's like the same counts. Because I know that a square is 4 sides and the seconds are 4, so it's very easy to remember. When I think about 7-4-8, I guess there's like I need to think about that for a moment because it's like different numbers. And then it took a little bit, probably the second round, for me to know how long 7 second is and how long 8 second is to make sure I can kind of like, it's like, I could have breathed in a little bit more. It's like, oh, damn, it's like maybe I could have breathed in for 9 seconds or something, Like, so it's like just getting the rhythm of that. Maybe I'm already calm from the box method that when I do this one, I don't feel much different, probably because I got the initial hit of calmness from the first one. I like trying them though.
Yes. Well, and again, you gotta practice, try them out in your privacy, and then just see which one works better for you.
Yeah.
And really give it a fair shot. Like, which one do you like, And there's so many different breathing methods. Like,
What's the advantage of breathing out more counts than your breath going in?
It slows your nervous system. It slows you down. It gets you more calm. And most
Oh,
people want to do the breathing because they want to be more calm and centered and focused. And so
right.
that's what it helps. It helps to bring heart and mind at center.
And how long should they do when they run one of these techniques? How long should they do it for? Like, are we talking like a 5-minute thing, or like should they sit there for 15 minutes, or what's the recommended in an ideal situation?
I always say better something than nothing. So if you can, practice it for 1-2 minutes, you will feel better. You will practice it and you get into a habit and expand it from there. Like I said, in the beginning, it was really hard for me too, to even, and do the counting. I thought that was hard on me. I rather just kind of try the natural. I was always kind of mismatching it and then like, oh,
Yeah, right.
So that's why I'm saying, like, whatever feels better to you, especially in the beginning, like really just sitting there, breathing in and breathing out, and just focusing on your breath. Maybe have your hand somewhere, where you can feel your chest or your belly rising, and just kind of see what comes up and try to
When
manage.
we breathe, do we have to think about the whole diaphragm thing? Like, are we meant to breathe more into our tummy, or it doesn't matter so much?
No, it doesn't hurt too much.
Okay.
I mean, if you're more of a belly, there's also different types, right? Like if there's people that are more comfortable in breathing in the chest, some more in the tummy. You can test it out and see which one feels more comfortable to you. Again, it's all about what feels best to you so that you can calm yourself down. It's not, I'm not sitting here like, oh, you have to do like the box method. You have to do it for 5 minutes and you have to do it every day or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like it really is, you test it out, you give it a fair shot. Like don't just be like, oh yeah, I tried it once, it's not for me. Because like that's really just not how it works. You got to give it a fair shot and really give it, a few more tries, just like you do with everything else.
Hmm. And I know,
Remember, it's like a
yeah,
buffet.
and
Like
I know
for
that you've got like something that you're that you're putting together in your world, right? Like, I think you're coming out with a program soon about this, or maybe you already have one. I
yes.
know you were, yeah, in. What does that look like? Can you walk me through the journey of what can people expect? Like, what is the program? How long is it? Firstly, how long is it? And then what would they learn if they were interested? Like, we did a couple of breathing techniques, but I don't know how many is there in the program? What does that journey look like if they were to walk through this mindfulness journey with Sandy?
Yes. Okay, so the program is called Mindful Beginning.
What is it? Mindful beginnings, yes.
Mindful Beginning, yes. And
So
it
was it
is for
aimed at people that are early, like they don't know anything, or is it even people that have done it before can benefit from this, or is what level is it at? I guess mindful beginning sounds like you're at the beginning.
yeah, okay, but yes, it's for either. Like you can try it at any state because that's part of the beginning intro call that we discuss, what have you tried before? Where are you at? So
Mm.
it's very personalized to you. I walk you through different exercises. I think it's over 25 different ones because I want you to see it.
25.
Yes. So we're
Okay.
doing it for 3 months, and I usually have about 3 in each session. So we meet once a week, and then I walk you through 3 exercises each session, and then some of the homework as well. And so you really get a fair shake of, like practicing, sampling them all, right? And really seeing, okay, which one we also talk about, right? You had them as homework, and how did you feel about it? Did you like more talking, less talking? It was too short, too long. You're more into the journaling. Okay, can we build on that? Or are you more into breathing, or none of these work for you? We need to find something totally different. Things like that. So it's very individualized when it comes to, okay, I want to make sure that it fits you. Like I said, it's like a fingerprint. Like I really want to match it to the person in front of me. But as an overall goal, like we go in the beginning, so it's divided in months. Basically, the first month, part 1, is more like reconnecting with yourself. Like really, what is mindfulness? What is being present? What does a mindfulness check-in look like? What do I feel? How do I, like things like that. What are the benefits of mindfulness? Like things of how to get started. And then The second part is more of managing your stress. So we're doing body regulation, emotional IQ, things like that. Anything we can do, right, to better communication, things like that. And then it goes outward, more like relationships with you and others, right? So yes, the communication, how can we transport this? And of course, towards the end, we really look into how can we make this a lasting thing? How can we build a really good routine? Obviously, you had 12 weeks where we each week had homework and things like that. So you have already had a routine, but you always had me to fall back on and ask questions and things like that. Maybe had some check-ins in between. Oh, did you do your exercise and things? So we're going to have a discussion on how can you be your own, on your own. How can you do it continuously, even if I wasn't there?
Yeah, right. So by the end of that 3 months, I should walk away with a plan of how I can execute this on my own with the best technique that's suited to my life. I suppose it's not dissimilar to like going to a PT in the gym. It's like they're running through with you first, kind of assessing where your body is at, what your goals are, and then working through you to refine the plan on, okay, yeah, because I might have started off with like, oh yeah, I wanted to lift, but it's like, okay, maybe that thing isn't what I wanted at all. So it's nutting through all of that journey and then having that plan to work on it on my own. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So just remind the audience, how would they do that? How, if they wanted to learn more about you and your program, what's the best way to contact you? Where are you most at on social?
On Facebook or Instagram, you can reach me there, and there's the link tree, so you can find all the rest of them. Like I have a YouTube channel, I have a podcast. I also have free workshops that I offer. The next one is coming up towards the end of January, the 31st, I want to say. And we're talking about reconnecting with yourself. And we actually are going to create a self-care plan in that workshop. So if anybody's interested.
Sorry, when was the workshop?
The 31st of January.
30. Okay, cool. Easy to remember. The last day of January.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. All right. So yeah, so everyone can hit that up if they want to. What's a final message you have for the listener for, I guess, just because you seem very nice and calm and balanced in your life. I assume at one stage in your life, things would have been more chaotic. If you were just to remind them or even your earlier self, what would that be?
That life is life is just like on a boat. You are constantly sailing, and there's constantly some challenges or storms that are coming up. So even I have been practicing mindfulness and staying balanced and stuff for years, but there's still things that can knock me off balance. And that is just something I'm going in with. Like I know that that's probably going to happen at some point, but the more I practice mindfulness, the more I am checking in with myself, the easier it gets to get back into balance, right? And I think that is what it is about, that even though you're losing your balance, you get up quicker, you get recentered quicker, you find your balance, your focus better, faster. Right? You're not in the, like maybe, it's been a crappy week and, you need a little bit of a pity party and you need to have a good cry, but then you got to get out there and to pick yourself back up, whereas, some of the things before would have maybe derailed me for like months just because, right? And so these days I can really usually assess it much quicker. I also feel myself, I'm more intuitive. Yes, I'm more in connect with myself, and I can, find like, oh my gosh, I am overwhelmed. What can I do about this? Right? Which in the beginning, I would just kind of explode maybe. Or it was so not easy to find my calm.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, it's really about taking that time out and working on our inner world, which brings so much, whether it's productiveness or just the result of it. Like, I think the reason why people don't work on a lot of these things is just because it's not so obvious. But when we work on the internal stuff, we always reap the real world benefit so much more.
Yes, just gonna say, just practice, like really go in there and give it a shot, and
Awesome.
really, yeah, try it out. Try it out for yourself, and
Try it out. Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, it's a new year to try out new things. So yeah, for everyone, if you want to feel more calm and be more mindful, I think breathing technique is always been the center of many things. No matter what you tap into, whether that's yoga or whether that is meditation, it always has. I find it's always have a breathing component to it. So thank you for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Excel in life, live your purpose, be free.